St. Brigid of Ireland, also known as St. Brigid of Kildare, was an early Irish Christian nun, abbess, and founder of several monasteries. Her charitable nature and faith continued to inspire many Catholics, as well as Eastern Orthodox and Celtic Orthodox Christians. Although historical details on St. Brigid's life have been debated, it was believed she was born around the year 450 out of wedlock to a pagan chieftain named Dubthach and a Christian slave woman named Broicsech. Before Brigid was born, her father sold her mother to a new master, but contracted for Brigid to be returned to him later in life. Brigid was likely baptized as an infant and raised by her mother as a Catholic. Brigid was well formed in the faith when she left her mother's side to return to live with her father at 10 years old. While living with her father, Brigid's charitable nature flourished. Tradition says she heard St. Patrick preach as a child and never forgot the way it made her feel. She could not bear to see anyone hungry or cold. Brigid started generously giving away her father's food and possessions to the poor. After learning of Brigid's actions, her father attempted to sell her to the Christian king of Leinster. While he bargained with the king, Brigid gave away her father's treasured sword to a leper. Infuriated, her father attempted to strike her. The king, understanding Brigid's charitable act, forbade her father from hitting her and convinced him to grant her freedom. Released from servitude, Brigid returned to her aging mother's side. Brigid took charge of her mother's master's dairy. Though she often gave away the produce, the dairy prospered greatly and the master freed Brigid's mother. Brigid was expected to marry, but she had plans of serving God in consecrated life. She refused the arrangements her father set up for her and disfigured her own face in an attempt to dissuade any future suitors. After refusing marriage, Brigid visited Bishop Mel of Dubthach and took her first vows as a nun. According to tradition, Brigid's facial disfigurement disappeared that day and her beauty returned. Brigid, along with 7 others, is credited with organizing communal consecrated religious life for women in Ireland. She started her first convent around 468. By invitation of bishops, Brigid traveled all over Ireland and started many convents. St. Brigid founded the monastery of Kildare, which means Church of the Oak. This was the first Irish double monastery, being that it included a separately housed men's community of monks. Under Brigid's leadership, Kildare played a major role in the Christianization of Ireland. St. Brigid helped many people in her lifetime and served God and His Church with deep dedication. On February 1st, 525, she passed away of natural causes. Several miracles were attributed to St. Brigid during her lifetime, but 2 of the most recognized are remembered as St. Brigid's cloak and St. Brigid's cross. Brigid prayed to God after the king of Leinster refused to give her land for her convents. She convinced the king to give her as much land as her cloak would reach. With the help of her friends, St. Brigid's cloak stretched many acres. The king realized she was blessed by God and promised her his support. St. Brigid's cross was used in converting a pagan chieftain on his deathbed. After the chieftain's Christian relatives asked Brigid to speak to him about Christ, she tried consoling him while picking up the strewn rushes from the ground and weaving them into a cross. She explained the cross to the chieftain, and he was moved into converting and becoming baptized just before dying. St. Brigid's cross is still venerated each year on her feast day in Ireland. St. Brigid of Ireland is the patron saint of Ireland, dairymaids, cattle, midwives, Irish nuns, and newborn babies. Her feast day is celebrated on February 1st.